Hello and welcome to another episode where we attempt to fall asleep, but we succeed because we have the help of Habibi Spice, aka me. If you have not already, I encourage you to become a member of this channel because that way you can give me your money for helping you fall asleep, which I think is a very fair exchange. You give money to your melatonin supplier, right? You give money to your THC dealer, right? Problem is, they charge you way more. Channel membership here is $5. Where can you buy weed for $5? Let's get relaxed together. Let's get ready to sink our heavy little bodies into mattresses because we are going to be diving in head first into, are you done? Into Greek mythology. Greek mythology. I have read from this book before on here. I forgot what about, which I should have checked so I don't read it again. But I don't have anything in particular today I want to read. And I'm thinking I will choose it right now with you. We have Zeus, we have Hera, Athene, Poseidon. So Poseidon is the god of the sea, I believe. Water, big waves. Maybe this would be fun to read. Let's go ahead and do that. So here is something interesting about the sea. You either love it or you hate it. I don't know a single person who is warm about the sea. Okay, I don't mind it. No. You're either a sea or ocean freak, or you have a phobia. Think about it, you have a single friend. You tell them, hey, you want to go swim in the ocean. They are either going to say, fuck no, or they are going to say, fuck yes. There is no, I don't know, maybe. No. Very polarizing. So if I was Poseidon, god of the sea, this is how I would vet people to know where they stand. Because if you are the god of something, you want people to like that thing. Otherwise, they hate you in proxy. So, oh, you are the god of hamburger. Hey, you want to go have hamburger? Fuck yes, fuck no. Fuck no, he's not your friend. But anyway, fuck yes, they are your friend. So let's see what Poseidon, the god of the sea, has to say for us. I like reading things like this because especially this book is short snippet about these things. I believe this is not more than 4 pages. It leaves a lot of room for me to yap. I love to yap. Yap, yap, yap. And if there is someone to listen, yap, yap all day. So we are going to yap, yap about the Greek myths. Sound good to me. Poseidon. After Kronos was deposed, the 3 sons threw dice for his empire. Zeus, the youngest, won and chose the sky. Poseidon smiled to himself because the sky was empty, and he knew that the impulsive Zeus had chosen it because it looked so high. And now he, Poseidon, could choose as he would have done if he had won. He chose the sea. He had always wanted it. It is the best place for adventures and secrets, and makes claim on land and sky. So this book reads kind of like a story, and it talks about the different people in the Greek mythology. Hades, who was always unlucky, had to take the underworld. The earth was held as a commonwealth and left to the goddesses to manage. Poseidon left Olympus and came to his kingdom. He immediately set about building a huge underwater palace with a great pearl and coral throne. He needed a queen and chose Cetus, a beautiful Nereid or water nymph. But it was prophesied that any son born to Cetus would be greater than his father. So Poseidon decided to try elsewhere. He did not want to have son better than him. So, he could have gotten with Cetus. It just don't copulate with her, The prophecy came true. The son of Cetus was Achilles. I am familiar with his heels. Poseidon chose another Nereid named Amphitrite. But like his brother Zeus, he was a great traveler and had hundreds of children in different places. He was a very difficult god, changeful and quarrelsome. He did bear grudges, but he could be pleased, and then his smile was radiant. Habibi cute. He likes jokes and set up very curious forms for his creatures. He liked to startle nymphs with monsters and concocted the octopus, the squid, the sea polyp or jellyfish, and the swordfish, blowfish, sea cow, and many others. Once trying to appease Amphitrite's jealous rage, he set up the dolphin and gave it to her as a gift. That would be nice. You're arguing with your partner. You say, hey, I'm going to invent a creature and offer it as a gift. Like, oh, I want to have a half dog, half whale, half rabbit. Here you go, Habibi, don't be angry. Poseidon tripping. He was greedy and aggressive, always trying to add to his kingdom. Once he claimed Attica as his own and stabbed his trident into the hillside where the Acropolis still stands. And the spring of salt water spouted. Now the people of Athens did not want to belong to the kingdom of the sea. They were afraid of Poseidon, who had a habit of seizing all the use of a town when he was in the mood. So they prayed to be put under the protection of another god. Athene heard their prayers. She came down and planted an olive tree by the side of the spring. Poseidon was enraged. His face darkened, and he roared with fury, raising a storm. A fishing fleet was blown off the sea and never came to port. Just because she planted olive tree. He has anger issues for sure. He challenged Asini to single combat and threatened to stir up a tidal wave to break over the city if she refused. Very toxic masculinity he's giving me. Incel vibes. Poseidon is incel confirmed. She accepted. Let's see how it goes. But Zeus had heard the sound of the quarreling and came down and decreed a truce. Then all the gods sat in council to hear the rival claims. After hearing both Asini and Poseidon, they voted to award the city to Asini because her olive tree was the better gift. Yeah, olive tree better than tsunami, I would say. After that, Athenians had to be very careful when they went to sea, and were often unfortunate in their naval battles. Poseidon was very fond of Demeter and pursued her hotly whenever he thought about it. Is he objectifying these women? He cornered her finally, one hot afternoon in a mountain pass, and demanded that she love him. He does have incel energy. There is no way this behavior will be brushed over by other gods. He has had to be the god that is incel. He probably has podcasts talking about it. She didn't know what to do. He was so huge, so implacable, so persistent. Typical incel behavior. Finally, Demeter said, "Give me a gift. You have made creatures for the sea. Now make me a land animal, but a beautiful one, the most beautiful ever seen." She thought she was safe because she believed he could make only monsters. That's clever. She told them to make him something beautiful because she knows he is not able to make that. But like he made Dolphin before, is Dolphin a monster? Dolphin is cute as fuck. She was amazed when he made her a horse and gasped with delight when she saw it. And Poseidon was struck by his handiwork, that he swiftly made a herd of horses that began to gallop about the meadows, tossing their heads, flirting their tails, kicking up their back legs, and neighing joyously. Neigh, neigh. Listen to this joke. What is a horse's favorite wine? A horse's favorite wine. Chardonnay. Thank you, I will be here all night. Just kidding, I'm here until you fall asleep. Anyway, horses neighing, kicking legs. He was so fascinated by the horses that he forgot all about Demeter and leaped on one and rode off. Habiba, what? Later he made another herd of green ones for his undersea stables. But Demeter kept the first herd. From that, all the horses in the world have descended. So he is so into himself that he invented horse. He loved the horse so much, he forgot it was supposed to be a gift to win Demeter's love, and he rode off on the horse. Habibi, what? Another story says it took Poseidon a full week to make the horse. That makes sense. During that time, he made and cast aside many other creatures that didn't come out right. But he simply threw them away without killing them. And they made their way into the world. From them have come the camel, the hippopotamus, the giraffe, the donkey, hamar, and the zebra. You know, I was gonna say he should have created the hamar so he can ride on that instead, because that would actually be a byproduct of him. But he had already done it. Poseidon beat me at his own game. In another story, Demeter turned herself into a mare to escape Poseidon. So she transformed herself into mare. Mare is a female horse. We already know Poseidon is obsessed with horse. He invent horse. He gallop away on horse, forget his girlfriend. So she say, oh, I'm gonna change myself into mare to escape him. Habibi, it seemed to me Demeter is not that smart. So maybe she has it coming. So she turned herself into a mare to escape Poseidon. But he immediately changed himself into a stallion, galloped after her, and got her. From this courtship came a wild horse, Arion, and the nymph named Despina. Demeter was also a moon goddess, and all through mythology, there is a connection between horse and moon and sea. The she-horse is given a sea name, or maybe the seahorse is given a she name. Mer. The moon swings the tides. The waves have white manes. The dripping horses stamp on the beach, and their hooves leave moon-shaped marks. An old thing that has not entirely disappeared. So the moon, the mare, and the horse are all interconnected according to Greek mythology. I don't know, that sounds cinematic to me, but when I think about Poseidon being an incel, it ruins all of it. Imagine Poseidon, you're scrolling on YouTube short. You get the Poseidon podcast, and he's talking about how his woman should not turn herself into a mare to run away, and that he as a man has a right to turn himself into a stallion to gallop after her and catch her. Ya Hamar, fucking let it go. She does not want you. The next part is about Hades. When the Greeks buried their dead, they put a coin under the corpse's tongue so that his soul could pay the fare on the ferry that crossed the river Styx. It was Charon who rowed the boat. He was a miser. Souls who couldn't pay for the ride had to wait on his side of the river. Sometimes they came back to haunt those who hadn't given them the fare. So this side of the river was their purgatory. If they did not have the coin. On the other side of the river was a great wall. Oh, are we in China? Its gate was guarded by Cerberus, a three-headed dog who had an appetite for live meat and attacked everyone but spirits. Beyond the gate, in Tartarus, was a great wide field shaded by black poplars. No explanation what poplar is. Here lived the dead, heroes and cowards, soldiers, shepherds, priests, minstrels, slaves. They wandered back and forth aimlessly. When they spoke, they twittered like bats. Here they awaited a trial by 3 judges, Minos, Radamanthys, and Acus. Ugly ass names. Those who had particularly displeased the gods were given special punishment. It's not very hard to displease Poseidon, it seems. Just decline his advances. Sisyphus must always push a huge rock uphill. Each time he gets it halfway up, it breaks loose and rolls down to the bottom, and he must begin again. And this he will do for all time. That sounds very exhausting, but he could just not lift the rock up. Like, he's already dead. What are they gonna do? If this is his purgatory, decline it. How is it going to be worse? Oh no, you have to do it for longer. Habibi, I'm stuck here forever. What you mean? Khalas. Tantalus has been giving a burning thirst and set chin deep in a cool, clear stream of water. But every time he bends to put his lips to the water, it shrinks away and he can never drink. See, now this is punishment. Here he will stand as long as Sisyphus rolls his stone. See, now an easy fix. If Sisyphus just stop rolling his stone, the water will maybe stop working down. But these are special cases. Most of the souls were judged not to be not too good and not too bad, but simply dead. They went back to the field, which is called the field of Asphodel, to wait. Those judged to be of unusual virtue went to the Elysian fields close by. Here it was always a holiday. The air was full of music. The shades danced and played all day long, all night long too, for the dead need no sleep. Also, these happy spirits had the option of being reborn on earth. Only the bravest accepted. Yeah, I bet. Oh, let me go back on earth. I have a lot of debt I need to repay. Fuck no, Habibi, stay dead. There was a special part of Elysium called Isles of the Blessed. Blest. Here lived those who had been 3 times born and 3 times gained Elysium. Hades and his queen lived in a great palace made of black rock. He was very jealous of his brothers and scarcely ever left his domain. He was fiercely possessive, gloated over every new arrival, and demanded a head count from Sharon at the close of each day. Never did he allow any of his subjects to escape, nor did he allow a mortal to visit Tartarus and return. There were only 2 exceptions to this rule, and those are other stories. The palace grounds and the surrounding fields were called Erebus. This was the deepest part of the underworld. No birds flew there. but the sounds of wings was heard. For here lived the Erinyes, or Furies, who were older than the gods. Their names were Tisiphone, Alecto, and Megaera. They were hags with snaky hair, red hot eyes, and yellow teeth. They slashed the air with metal-studded whips, and when they found a victim, their names were Tisiphone, Alecto, and Megara. They were hags with snaky hair, red hot eyes, and yellow teeth. Sound like my ex-wife. They slashed the air with metal-studded whips, and when they found a victim, they whipped the flesh from his bones. Is that a promise? Their task was to visit Earth and punish evildoers, especially those who had escaped other punishment. They were greatly feared. No one dared say their name, but they were referred to as the Humanides, or kindly ones. Hades valued them. They enriched his kingdom. For their attentions persuaded people to suicide. He enjoyed their conversation. When they returned to Erebus, after their work was done, they circled low over the palace grounds, screaming their tale and the latest gossip. Hades was well cast to rule the dead. He was violent, loathed change, and was given to slow black rage. His most dramatic hour was when he kidnapped Persephone and made her his queen. But that belongs to the next story. It seemed to me that the men or gods of Greek mythology all have ego issues. First, Poseidon cannot take rejection, and then Hades apparently kidnap Persephone. So like, Habibi, you guys have some deep-rooted issues you have to sift through. Maybe the Greek gods did not have therapy back then, but at least they had 3 hags with whips, which counts kind of like therapy if you ask me. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this delve into Greek mythology. Make sure you do not end up in any purgatory, because it seems we are already in it. So let's make the best of it and control what we can control, which is what time we can go to bed. If you're watching this at 2 a.m., try again tomorrow a bit early. I believe in you. If you're watching this at 10 p.m., good time to go to sleep. 12 a.m. in the middle, just like people who are in the middle about the ocean. They don't exist. So either go to sleep early or don't go to sleep at all. I'm just kidding. I want you to go to sleep. Yalla. Have a good night. Sleep well.